That first $10,000 in your TFSA feels amazing, doesn't it? But why stop there? It's time to level up, add a zero, and turn that into $100,000. The average Canadian reaches a $10,000 TFSA between the ages of 25 and 29. Whether you've hit this milestone early or late, the path to 10x your TFSA to 100K is achievable for anyone. I've reached over $200,000 in my TFSA, and today I'm gonna share the exact same steps I took to help you crack the six-figure TFSA milestone. The $100,000 TFSA cake. Imagine your TFSA as a cake you're going to bake. To turn $10,000 of ingredients into a $100,000 TFSA cake, you need to get 5 key things right. The first is you have to select the right ingredients. These are your investments. The second is the time, which is how long you leave it to grow. The third is the heat, which is the rate of return on your investments. The fourth is to add layers to your cake, which are the regular contributions to make your cake bigger and better. And the fifth is to avoid common mistakes. I'll go over some very common mistakes I see that prevents people from reaching this $100,000 mark. Let's break this down. Step 1, the ingredients, picking the right investments. Your TFSA ingredients are the foundation of your cake. Choose high quality investments that align with your risk tolerance and goals. Here are a few popular options in Canada that you can consider. ETFs. Think of ETFs like a one-stop shop. With just one purchase, you're investing in hundreds or even thousands of companies, which spreads out the risk. They're also super affordable and way cheaper than mutual funds in Canada, so you're not losing chunks of your returns to fees. Plus, they're really straightforward to buy and manage. If you're not sure where to start, check out ETFs like Vanguard's VFV, which tracks the S&P 500, or their portfolio series like XEQT and VGRO, which are global stocks all wrapped into one portfolio fund. Dividend stocks. Dividend stocks are a solid option if you like the idea of getting paid while you invest. Even better, if you reinvest those payouts, you're compounding your returns over time. They're great for adding stability and income to your portfolio while still growing your investments. Robo-advisors. Robo-advisors create a personalized portfolio for you and handle all the adjustments so you don't have to. It's great if you're new to investing or just want a more hands-off approach. Wealthsimple and Quest Wealth are 2 great options to consider. And here's a quick summary of some options that you can consider plus more. You can pause this part and see which ones of these might apply to you. Step 2, the time, letting it grow. Time in the market is your secret weapon, but here's the reality. If you invest, say, $10,000 at a 4% annual rate of return with no additional contributions, it would take 59 years to grow to $100,000. Now that's far too long. If you started this strategy at age 30, you'd be 89 years old before you hit your goal. Clearly, patience alone isn't enough. You need to take action sooner to accelerate your progress. Let's look at how you could speed this up. Step 3, the heat, which is your investment rate of returns. Now let's look at how your rate of return directly impacts how long it takes $10,000 to grow to $100,000 without adding a single dollar. Here's the timeline. Now, at 4%, it takes, as we mentioned earlier, 59 years to grow $10,000 to $100,000. This is the typical performance of something like, say, a balanced ETF portfolio. A portfolio achieving 7% return brings the timeline down to 34 years, which shaves a massive 25 years off compared to the 4% returns. This is a much more reasonable time frame, especially if you start young. A portfolio more heavily weighted into equities can potentially achieve this return. Now, at 10%, aggressive growth strategies can cut the timeline to 24 years, shaving off 35 years compared to 4%. But it comes with much higher volatility and risks. And it's a little unlikely to maintain a 10% return over 24 years for most investors. The key is finding your comfort zone. Your rate of return determines how fast your investments grow, but it also reflects your risk tolerance. If you prefer stability, for example, stick to something like a balanced portfolio of ETFs for moderate returns and lower risks. If you can handle more volatility, consider allocating a portion to more equities and higher growth options like tech or international stocks. And if you want to see how your returns and timelines stack up, you could download our free spreadsheet on our website to experiment with different rates of returns and investment scenarios to find your perfect heat level. I put a link in the description to this exact same spreadsheet that I'm walking you through now in this video. Step 4. Adding layers, the importance of regular contributions. Your TFSA doesn't grow to $100,000 overnight. It's built steadily, just like adding layers to a cake. Every contribution you make adds another layer, increasing the overall size of your portfolio and strengthening its ability to compound over time. Regular contributions can drastically reduce the time it takes to grow your TFSA from $10,000 to $100,000. Here's how different annual contributions impact the timeline. As you can see, this table has some very interesting results. Even Small contributions like $1,000 annually shaves 11 years off of the timeline, demonstrating the power of consistent contributions. Increasing your contributions to $3,000 or more accelerates your progress significantly, saving 19 years compared to no contributions. And if you can scrape up the money to contribute $10,000 annually, you could reach $100,000 in just 7 years, which is an incredible 27 years faster than relying on just compounding alone. How to contribute consistently? Well, I would suggest to automate your savings. Try to set up automatic monthly or yearly transfers into your TFSA directly from your bank account, and use windfalls wisely. Put things like bonuses, tax refunds, inheriting some funds, or extra income towards your TFSA to give it a boost. And increase your contributions over time. As your income grows, or say you get married and start to save more with your partner, raise your contributions to keep building momentum. And if you want more details on this, check out my video on the 2025 TFSA limits in Canada to fully understand how to maximize your contributions. Step number 5 is to avoid common mistakes. Even with a solid plan, certain missteps can derail your progress and prevent you from reaching your TFSA goals. Here are some common mistakes I see a lot of our clients make and why they can be very costly. The first is taking on too much risk. Some investors aim for extreme growth by chasing speculative investments, such as meme stocks or cryptocurrencies. While these can offer massive returns in a short period, they often come with significant risks. For example, if you can achieve 100% rates of returns every year, so if you double your money every year, your $10,000 would grow to $100,000 in just over 3 years. However, these strategies are extremely risky and highly volatile, and the chances of losing all your money are much higher than achieving this really high rate of return. Why I think this is a problem is that a lot of investors now think that they can achieve this and that it's kind of an easy feat, but it really is not. High risk investments are very unpredictable, often resulting in larger losses rather than sustained growth. And recovering from significant losses can take years and really derail your TFSA growth. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, the biggest mistake I see is playing it too safe. On the other hand, some investors stick with low interest savings accounts or GICs or even just straight up cash accounts, thinking that it's the safest route for their TFSA. Now, while these options protect your principal, they significantly limit growth. For example, at a 2% rate of return, $10,000 would take a staggering 116 years to grow to $100,000. Now, why this is a problem is that low returns barely outpace inflation, meaning your purchasing power actually diminishes over time. Another problem is you miss out on the compounding potential of higher growth investments. A third common mistake I see is trying to time the market. Many investors attempt to buy low and sell high, thinking that they can predict market movements. While the strategy sounds appealing, it's very difficult to execute this strategy consistently. Why it's a problem? Most people miss out on the best performing market days by waiting on the sidelines, and even professionals struggle to time the market accurately, and the costs of getting it wrong can far outweigh the potential benefits. Staying invested through ups and downs typically outperforms trying to predict market swings for most retail investors. Fourth big mistake is ignoring fees. High fees, such as those associated with mutual funds, can really eat into your returns over time. And why it's a problem is that, for example, a 2% management fee on a $100,000 portfolio can cost you tens of thousands of dollars over decades. Low-cost options like ETFs offer similar market exposure with significantly lower fees, allowing more of your money to grow. Another common mistake I see is not understanding your investments and risk tolerance. Before committing to any investment, take the time to understand how it works and whether it aligns with your risk tolerance and financial goals. It's easy to be tempted by trendy assets like Bitcoin hitting $100,000 or hot tech stocks like Nvidia, but if you don't fully understand the investment and can't handle the risk, it could derail your progress. And why it's important is that many investors overestimate their ability to handle risk, leading to poor decisions when markets get volatile and those investments start to drop. Be honest with yourself and build a portfolio that works with your comfort level. And again, remember you could check out our free TFSA growth calculator at the website blueprintfinancial.ca, the tools section, to customize your timeline and contributions. Now, while calculators are a great start, they can only take you so far. If you're serious about optimizing your TFSA strategy, minimizing taxes, and ensuring that your investments align with your long-term goals, Blueprint Financial is here to help. Our experts can perform a detailed fee teardown of your current investments to uncover hidden costs and find ways to maximize your growth potential. Visit our website to book a free consultation with a financial expert, and together we'll build a customized investment plan to help you achieve your financial goals faster and with confidence.